Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about some of the more unpleasant topics that we need to coach on at Simply Social Kids. So kids who have a social unawareness or have difficulty socializing with others, they don't understand some of the things they do that are just honestly gross. Kids will do gross things, of course, but socially inappropriate gross things they do need to be clued in on. And we need to be the ones that do that to help them understand that they can't do that when they're trying to make friends with people or people are not going to want to hang out with them. So here are some of the unpleasant topics that we need to coach kids on. And this first one is feet aren't fidgets. Something that we talk about the minute it gets warm out and they're starting to wear sandals to group. Because what happens is if everyone's sitting in a circle, they're all sitting on the floor or whatever, they tend to pick at their toes, or they might take some of the manipulatives that we use in our activities. A lot of times we use things like poker chips or squished marbles, and we'll use those as manipulatives as we're trying to do an activity to teach social skills. And I don't want any of those things or any of my game pieces like cards or pawns or anything like that to be in between anyone's toes, on anyone's feet, inside their sandal. These things happen all the time. So feet are not fidgets and they are not to touch or pick at their toes. And whenever we have those kinds of manipulatives, we have to remind them that they stay in front of them and not on their eyeballs, in their ears, on their butts, wherever they want to put them. They tend to put them all over the place. And we want to make sure they're keeping them in the appropriate place and the not disgusting place. The second one we have to coach on, particularly with boys, is that if you put your hands in your pockets, your hands go on the side of your legs, not in front of your legs. And even little kids will often touch their privates in front of other people. And we need to clue them into that and say, we can't touch our fronts. And if you put your hands in your pockets, side only, never in the front. And that we coach on from the littles on up to the teenagers. They all tend to do that. For the girls, wearing bras. So kids starting at like age 10, 11, they can start to enter puberty and they start to develop, and they do need to start wearing training bras or bralettes and something so they get used to that. A lot of the kids we work with have sensory difficulties, so that can feel uncomfortable at first. But as they get older, we certainly need them to wear a bra because they are going to be exposing more than they mean to when they're reaching for that game piece or they're picking that next Uno card. And so they need to be aware that they need to have the appropriate undergarments on for their developmental age. Passing gas. A lot of kids think that no one notices that they did that, or they don't know who did that. And the answer is we both do notice and know who did it. So we just have to give them a reminder that if they are feeling the need to do that, that they should go to the bathroom and take care of it there and then come out when they're done. So any kind of picking. So certainly nose picking is common among kids. They do that all year round. We always have to clue them in, make them wash their hands, use hand sanitizer because it's not sanitary to do that. But they'll also pick at other things. Some kids will just do skin picking. Sometimes that's part of their disorder, or they might pick at scabs or just dry skin or anything like that. And we want to make sure that they're not doing that. We certainly don't want them to be picking out a scab and then having it begin to bleed again in our space. We're not nurses. We're not there to do wound care. We could provide a Band-Aid, but we don't want them doing that. And not to mention the fact that that's going to get on the toys and games and furniture that we have at our center. It's just completely disgusting and unsanitary. So we want to make sure that we're discouraging all kinds of picking like that. Another one is just dandruff. So some kids who have like itchy scalp due to dandruff, what they will do is they'll scratch it. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll even like shake their heads to kind of have all of the dandruff fall down onto a table or something. And they don't really realize how nasty that really is. And so we need to really clue them in about that. It's like, we can't pick at your hair either and cause dandruff to fall out of your head, because those are the things that are going to get kids really picked on and get a lot of negative feedback from others when they do things like that. The last one is pretty common, and we do get this a lot, probably more with teenagers and the younger kids, but just body odor. Obviously, if somebody has body odor in the room, you can tell, and we want to make sure that we're cluing them into that hygiene, that aspect of their hygiene, so they are using deodorant on every day. But we don't want to embarrass anybody when it comes to these things, so we are not going to pinpoint anybody in particular who's doing that. But usually what we'll do is we'll kind of try to make it a little bit lighthearted and go, geez, there's a kind of funk going on in the room right now. Like, I don't know who's causing that, but you guys are to remember, You need to shower every day, whether you need it or not, unless you have some kind of skin condition or something and you do it less frequently. But deodorant, whether you think you need it or not, every single day. And deodorant plus antiperspirant, so we're not having like wet armpits plus smelly armpits. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of all those hygiene issues, and we don't want to gross out our friends. So these are unpleasant coaching topics that we need to coach on, but they are very important coaching topics. And we do need to make sure we point it out to them so they're aware of it and it doesn't hurt their friendships or their ability to make new friends. So I hope you found this nasty topic useful. And if you did, please hit the like button, hit subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more videos on how to help children, teens, and young adults improve their social lives. And leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. So if you think you might want to check out our program to see if it's right for your family, just call or text us at the number below. We'll do a brief phone call to see if we're a good fit, and we'll schedule a free trial.